the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we have two of the best young receivers in the game, both who can just flat out go up and get it. It's Odell Beckham Jr. against Dez Bryant. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and Mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. And hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our matchup here. You've got to believe that this is a game that might be won in the trenches.
Oh, without question. This is big person on big person, big unit against big unit.
Meat on meat.
Oh, you got it all. Pick your cliche, but we know this. The ground's going to shake, things are going to rumble, and they're going to have an impact on today's game.
Josh Brown's got us teed up and ready to roll. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And leading the offense out of the field, Tony Romo, the quarterback. And while we see him here, the Cowboy fans probably going to have to wait till mid-season to see him again with that broken bone in his back.
Has not had much luck when it's come to injuries in recent seasons.
Luck.
He is a battler, but he's in a tough one right now. Probably have to wait till at least mid-season to get his shot at getting back on the field. Let's see how things work out for him going forward.
They run with a rookie. Here's Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
Here's Romo now on second down. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. 11 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. It's a tight game here early. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Romo looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handing it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a 1st down.
On 1st down, Romo over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. So while we have a moment here, Charles, intriguing matchups of week 3 in the preseason. I know that you saw the Tennessee game. You thought that was pretty interesting.
It was, because Oakland's one of those teams we've talked about the entire offseason as making a playoff push. and having Derek Carr at quarterback gives them a leg up, throwing to Amari Cooper and the rest of the crew. And they didn't look bad on offense, but they didn't look as good overall as a team as maybe we expected. Conversely, Tennessee, who went to Oakland and beat them, not many people have hopes for the Tennessee Titans this year. But guess what? They look pretty darn good, and Marcus Mariota's made great strides in year 2.
And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Now Tony Romo on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give them 11 on the gain there. And the Cowboys are going to get a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a first down throw. Romo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And another reception by Jason Witten. All reliable for Tony Romo. You know what they say, partner? Once you get your first 1,000 catches, it's all gravy after that.
Yeah, one of 2 tight ends. He and Tony Gonzalez in the 1,000-catch club in the tight end department. Red zone opportunity. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Romo throwing again. This will be caught at about the 5. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. To the air again, Romo. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA halftime report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both teams have played smart with the football in the first half. Each team has avoided that one big turnover to this point, and it's a reason we have a very tight game at halftime. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Cowboys have it at the 27. Romo connects with Witten over the middle. And he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 8-yard line. So that's a wrap for us. We'll head back now to AT&T Stadium for the start of the second half.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And incomplete to open things up. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Quick look around the league while we have a second. Week 3 of the preseason. Few interesting games. A lot of people like to talk about Week 3. Houston and Arizona was one that caught your eye, wasn't it?
A battle of division champs in 2015, and Arizona went to Houston to play. And Carson Palmer, let's face it, when we talk about the Cardinals, they'll probably go as far as Carson can take them. And he had a rough game, ended up having to get out of it early after taking a big hit and threw an interception that was returned for a touchdown. But how about Houston? Remember when DeAndre Hopkins was so happy on draft night when they drafted Will Fuller to take some pressure off of him? That showed up in a big way in this game, didn't it? Hopkins made some great catches, big-time moves, but a big one by Fuller opening up space. And it looks like Houston, they've got a winner on offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Manning. And that is incomplete. Larry Donnell, the one he was trying to get it to. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. Taking it about the 16. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Oh, nifty juke there. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now the fifth-year man, this is Lance Dunbar. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. "47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They'll look to throw. Underneath for Jennings. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. Third down at 8 now. He's back to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Oh, the lonely punter inside their own 20 figured for sure they were punting this away. They did not, and the move does not pay off.
You think someone put up the stop signal when he started to trot over the sideline? Nope, no, son. We're going to go for it here. Usually when you see a team do these types of things, it's because they're so dominant that they don't believe that they can get beat. This is much more of what you see in a high school game, maybe some of those mismatched college games. But in the NFL, any given Sunday is a phrase they take seriously. And guess what? That was probably going to backfire.
Double tight, double tight. Four down. Under. 180.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Down to a knee is Romo, and that should be all she wrote. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.